Hey, what's going on YouTube? I am back with another story time, and if you do enjoy these story times, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. And in any case, this story time is the second time I threw up from smoking weed, and it was kind of an interesting one because I had basically, what it was is it was one of those things coming back in California for the summer with my folks being divorced and whatnot. And it was basically I came back and my buddy went to his spot, like I think it was like the first or second day I was there in California. I think it had to have been like first, if not, no, it was like the first day, like hanging out afternoon. He basically wanted me, being excited that I was there, wanted to get me fucking baked. So what we did, so we went out to his garage. Like, he had a little stash space in the garage where he hid a lot of his paraphernalia, and he had a Langer's cranberry juice bottle that he had burnt holes in at the bottom. And basically what he wanted me to do was, so he got another 5-gallon bucket or so, got that with and basically made like a waterfall out of this Langer's cranberry juice. And basically, I don't think I'd ever really used one at that point before, but basically he took a rip, seemed pretty normal. He packed me a snap, got it going, got that cranberry juice bottle filled with smoke, and I ripped that, taking it hard. Like, I hadn't probably smoked in well over 6 months at that point, and then jumping in, this was some fire weed. This was good stuff. This wasn't any Reggie. This was not any mids. This was some proper weed, and it hit me hard. And I did this, basically I took 2 of these hits. He got 2 snaps worth, basically filled. It was getting me good. I was heavy on the head high, heavy on the body high. It was just like, man, this is what I'm ready for. This is the kind of summer I have been waiting for. And basically, just as we were getting done smoking, coming back inside, his mom pulls out, and mind you, these dudes are Italian, heavy Italian. So she pulls out this homemade lasagna, freshly done. It smelled so good, especially with those munchies kicking in. It was just heaven. Just smelled so good. And and then she proceeds, hey, let me get you a plate. She makes this fat plate of lasagna for me, way too much. I was not that hungry, but you got this Italian lady giving you some really serious homemade old recipe lasagna. Are you really gonna deny it? No, I don't think so. I took that thing and I was scarfing it down. A couple minutes later, I'm handed a chilled, frozen, not frozen, but perfectly chilled Monster. One of those regular ones, not the low carb, the full flavored, full bodied Monster. And I start just kind of pounding it and eating this. Well, lo and behold, that's was not a good combination for being at a 10. I was definitely at a 10 because from just those 2 hits. It was there. It was definitely up there as some of the highest I had ever been. The lasagna was good and all, but it was a lot. I way too much. And then you compound that with the sugary, full-bodied Monster going on with it, and me eating extra fast. It was not mixing well with the weed like one would think. If I paced myself even just a little bit, I probably would have been fine. I just chowed and chugged and just ate it way too fast. And so I just sat there. I was trying to play some Super Smash, just kind of zoning out, trying to get it, but my stomach and the nausea was starting to get to me. I was starting to get that caffeine grossness was hitting in, and it just was ooh. And I'm laying there I'm sitting there trying to play, and I couldn't. I just ended up trying to focus on not being nauseous and gross, and just kind of sitting there trying to relax. And it just it was probably a good 10 minutes, maybe 15 of that, of me just sitting there trying to deal with this belly just full to the brim of tasty lasagna and monster drink while like the weed has started to like make me feel all like spinny and gross and just like nauseous with the caffeine and everything. And then like it just hit me. It just straight hit me. There was no holding back. Basically, this is kind of like a master bedroom type thing. So like the bathroom, the door to like the bathroom was right next to where I was and like how the TV setup and everything was. So like I didn't have hardly any time, but I'm glad I was where I was when it happened, because it's like any further and I would have just been puking all over the floor like on the way to it. I basically was able to like just barely enough charge into the bathroom, and as I'm going down to like lift the lid to the toilet to like throw up in it, it just erupts out, and I'm like holding it in with my mouth, like I'm covering my mouth with my hand. It just erupts through my fingers, and then my fingers act as like a spraying mechanism from which it goes all over the seat, all over the sides, all over the floor, all over the walls next to the toilet, and just proceeded to make a giant mess of it all. And I like just kept throwing up, and like not all in the toilet, even though I was there. I like threw up more on the floor. I threw up. It was a freaking mess. And the thing was, that didn't change how high I was. I was still at a 10 out of 10. My buddy comes like worried like what's going on, and then proceeds to just crack up laughing because he kind of knew exactly what happened. Like munchies got to me, got way sick, threw up. Like it just, ugh. His mom comes in feeling all worried, and he's like, oh, and then she felt bad because she thought like the lasagna got me sick and whatnot. And like that was not the case whatsoever. It was me. But like she just presumed like, oh, it was the lasagna. I'm sorry. Oh man, I feel really bad. And so I proceed to like clean up this gnarly mess in a 10 out of 10 state. Like they just start handing me like paper towels and like just cleaning material, like bleach, that sort of like just Clorox, like just enough to clean up. And I proceed to spend like 30 minutes just cleaning up my gnarly mess at a 10 out of 10, just zooted out of my mind, like, oh man. And then I get back and I feel way better by the end of it. It was very satisfying. It was like, once I was done, it was like, you know, when you finish cleaning and you see your progress and you're like, man, I made my room really clean. I mean, there was that satisfying feeling of like, man, I made a mess. It was kind of embarrassing, but damn, did I make a sparkly clean toilet all over again and clean everything up while I'm freaking like just crazy high. Like it was definitely a satisfaction on that level. But it was like, by the time I was done doing that, I came down enough to where I was like at a 6 or 7, and my buddy and I just laughed it off. It was freaking hilarious. So just like, man, like it's not every day you throw up from weed, and it was certainly a memorable one, and one I still fondly think of to this day. In any case, that was the second time I ever threw up from weed. If you do enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. You have a great rest of your day.